Hello and welcome back to Flight Sim World. I almost said Train Sim World. This is not Train Sim World. If this was a train, this is the weirdest train ever. Hello and welcome back to Flight Sim World. You join me here at Sphinx Airport. I believe this is Sphinx Airport, which is immediately going to give you an idea as to what we're actually going to be doing in this episode. We're going to be doing a little bit of sightseeing, and we're going to see if we can find the Great Pyramids of Giza and some pyramids around there. I might not even land this aircraft afterwards, but we're going to see what we can do. Let's get a bunch of these things sorted out. There's pitot heat, whatever that is. Surface de-ice. We're not going to need that. We're in quite a interesting area. It's going to be quite warm. So we're in Egypt and we're going to be flying around the River Nile from here. Let's get ourselves up and away, and let's just see. We're just doing a bit of a sightseeing episode. No updates or anything to talk about just here. Just some sightseeing. And let's see what it's like. Put the throttle up all the way. We've got our flaps down already to one level. We're going to be rotating at, I'd say, around 80 knots. Got to have a nice gentle rotate. This aircraft does like to, as you can see, does like to climb very quickly for some strange reason. Positive rate, gear up, and flaps up. Going to keep that power up full, and we're going to be headed off in this direction. As a matter of fact, we're going to actually do that over this runway. Frames seem to be fairly bad here for some strange reason. I've noticed this. There was an update today the day I'm recording this, which is the day before you see it. There was an update today which, for some strange reason, led me to having one blue screen earlier on, and then some pretty choppy frames. But I don't know what the update's done. It doesn't seem to have actually done anything. So I don't know whether it's just a glitch or something that's happened that I need to work out. Anyway, we're not going to be climbing any higher than this because we don't need to. We're just going to see if we can find these pyramids. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to fly. You can see the ADF beacon is pointing dead ahead there. I'm actually going to be flying towards that ADF beacon, but we should be able to see the pyramids. Then we're going to do a bit of flying around the edge of the desert area, and then from that we'll then be flying along and back around. So we'll see if we can see the Sphinx. We'll see if we can find the pyramids of Giza. As a matter of fact, I can see the pyramids from here. That's cool. So let's swing it over in that direction. Very awesome. Bringing it over and around, and there they are. Fantastic. That was easy to find. So yeah, we're just going to fly over there and we're just going to see what they're like. Obviously, it's one of the great wonders of the world, and I'm hoping that it will look fairly wonderful in here. And if it doesn't, I hope that they'll be updating it to look fairly wonderful in here. Right, so we're down to 1,500 feet. That's as low as I want to be. So there we go. We are doing 180 knots. We are in the abnormal operation range, but that's okay because this is very smooth air right here. That's why I'm doing that. The speed will bleed off of its own accord very, very soon, given that my throttle is not at its highest setting. So the speed should, in fact, you can see the speed bleeding off now. As for landing at an airport, odds are I'm not going to be landing at an airport today. Interesting shadowing going on from this place here. Don't know if that's inside or out. Maybe that's outside as well. Yeah, it's outside as well. Don't know what's going on there. That's going to be a good view though. As I come over it, maybe I'll try and, if I can stick fairly straight here, if I can sort of aim directly for that pyramid, and then I should be able to buzz it, but I should be able to go out in the outside view, and that should be the thumbnail for the episode. Perhaps if I get closer, it's going to stop doing that weird stuttering or weird flickering. You know what? This isn't the first time I've seen this. On custom building, it seems to do this, and I don't know what's causing it. I don't know what's causing it at all. You see there's the city of Cairo and the River Nile. You can just about see the River Nile. If my memory serves me correctly, it's the longest river in the world. And it goes all the way through Africa and ends up actually somewhere much further away than here. There we go, that's a view. Let's see what we get. There's no buildings here, interestingly. Look, we've got buildings just there. Well, a whole bunch of them, actually, but no buildings right near the pyramids for some reason. That's odd. And there are more pyramids up ahead that we're going to be exploring and then coming back to this, so... There we go. There are some pyramids. Should we try and fly between the pyramids? Should do something really silly right now. And if I've got the ability to do this. Yes, I know. Just want to do something incredibly silly. I just fly between the pyramids like this. Interesting. Let's loop around that one more time. Is the aircraft stalling at that point? I don't know. Shouldn't be stalling. This is a steep turn, but it shouldn't be stalling. Yeah, look, there's no... Why is this not generated anything? Highly interesting. This should now be low enough to literally buzz the pyramids. That's weird. It's like there's just a small bug here. Pyramids should be coming up on us again. There they are. There's some small ones, as you can see, and a couple of large ones. The Great Pyramids of Giza in all their glory. Very nice. And there's the Sphinx itself down there. We'll come back down here. Look, there's more pyramids out that way. I want to go see what those pyramids are. That might be the white pyramid and the red pyramid. And there's some more pyramids I see dead ahead of us. So, highly interesting. Highly interesting area. Shouldn't take us too long to get there. Then we'll come back here and see if we can see these pyramids of Giza again. But interesting that the sort of scenery just stops here. I'm quite curious as to why that's happening. We'll keep ourselves fairly low, I think. Don't want to go too high up, because we do want to be exploring this area fairly close to the ground. This looks like some rocks or something over here. Like I said, the city of Cairo right there. And you can't see the Nile from this height, but you should be able to see it very soon. There's a couple of more pyramids coming up. We're coming up to right there. There should be some old villages and stuff over here, or old ruins of, I'm assuming, of Egyptian civilization. The old ancient Egyptian civilizations around here. Look, there's more pyramids out there. This is a place I would like to see, just to see this, all in one day. Perhaps someday. Come along here, take a few pictures of the pyramids, go home. Essentially. I mean, it does actually beg the question. I mean, how did they build them? How did they build them? What were they built for? They seem to be tombs of some sort. They all seem to be tombs of some sort. But why a pyramid? You know, why did they decide to make pyramids. Oh, I know the name of this pyramid, but I can't pronounce it. It begins with a DJ. No, it's not Django. It has an S in the name as well. This pyramid's quite interesting because it's not exactly a pyramid. It has like levels to it. In fact, as you can see right ahead, it has levels, and it's a very tiny one. And by tiny, I mean obviously it's fairly big, but it's tiny compared to the others. So as we get closer to it, you're going to see. I'm quite glad that they've got these in here at with such a clarity, or a decent. Yeah, it's a decent design. May not be the best, but they are fairly decent, as you can see. It's not brilliant, but it's a pyramid. It's a pyramid nonetheless, and it is the right pyramid in essentially the right place. As for that one, I have no idea what that is. That doesn't look like a pyramid, as it looks more like a blob. You see what this one is? I think what that one is just there, that we're about to pass over, this one right here, I think that they were building a pyramid and then the workers went on strike. That's what I think happened there. And therefore, the pyramid never got the complete shape that it was supposed to have. Let's pitch the nose up a little bit, get ourselves a little bit of height here. We're coming up to the next pyramid, then we're going to double back and head back towards Giza. Towards the Great Pyramids. So it's just going to be a short video. I just wanted to see the area and see how it's done. In fact, what we'll do is we'll follow the Nile. That's what we'll do. We'll follow the Nile and then we'll find a place to land. That seems logical. Let's keep that nose tilting upwards. Slow the aircraft down very slowly, but we are doing 160 knots. There's a couple more pyramids. That one looks a lot like a pyramid, and the one behind it doesn't look so much like a pyramid. I think one of these is supposed to be the red pyramid or something. And I don't know, is it supposed to be red? I'm not entirely familiar with the area. Naturally, I mean, I knew where the pyramids of Giza were, but I didn't know where other ones would be. And there you can see the River Nile. So we're going to turn back and follow that. But there you go, look, there's another pyramid. Should we buzz this one as well? Let's buzz this one. There we go. I just saw something off the other side, so I'm actually going to wings level and have a look over there. Looks like a bit of an oasis, but I don't think it's an oasis at all. This looks like a reddish pyramid. Maybe this is the red pyramid and that was the white pyramid. I think that's what they were, the red and white pyramid. I mean, that's got a bit of a reddish colour to it, whilst the other has more of a whitish colour. So, yeah. Interesting areas, lots to explore. Very deserty, of course, but it also looks fairly rocky. And as you get towards the Nile, it suddenly starts becoming more fertile land, as you would expect, with water all around. The lifeblood of Africa, as it's called. And you can see just where the Nile goes. And then you can see the pyramids again in the distance. That's the pyramids of Giza, which I think is quite an interesting look-see there. So should pick up a bit more power and stop climbing again, and we'll follow the Nile in and find some place to land. Just wanted to have a quick look around this area. I was interested. I've been meaning to do this for a couple of weeks. Having a look, and also I was thinking of doing a series where I go around all the great wonders of the world. Unfortunately, I just don't think the simulator's in a state to do that quite yet. It will be at some point. I'm definitely hoping it will be at some point. That ADF needle is pointing me in roughly the right direction. Well, actually it's pointing me in the direction I need to go, which is Cairo. So there is that one. So 317, there's also another one at 284, which is not too far from there. On top of that, I'm using 115.2 to take me to Cairo. I wonder if the other one will do the same. Yeah, there we go. I think one of them may not be used anymore. So 115.2 may not be used. I think 112.5 is the one they prefer to use. Got some roads down here. Of course, traces of civilization going all the way out that way. That's where that little, I think it's some sort of settlement. Maybe farms. That's what that could be. It could be just farms on the edge of the Sahara Desert. It would be interesting to see this at night, with everything lit up. Once we get dynamic lighting, I think I'd like to come back here at night and see everything lit up. And there it is, the wonderful River Nile. And you can see the city all starting here, all the towns, all the settlements beginning. And you can just see how they've all developed around this river, because obviously the river is going to be the main source for everything here, and so they've had to build around the river. All the ancient civilizations went around the river. You've got the pyramids out there, so I'm assuming, you know, there must have been an ancient city here, and then the pyramids out there were all the tombs of the kings and stuff like that. I still don't know why there were pyramids though. That's something I might have to research. You can see the town below with the Orbeck scenery, not looking all too shabby actually. Frames are holding up decently well, and I can see some puppy indicators for an airport actually. Might take the aeroplane in there to land, since I can see them. You can see the Sphinx there. Let me just again, I can't zoom in for some reason. Let me zoom in using this. There you go. There's the Sphinx. Compared to the pyramids, it's a tiny little thing. I didn't think it was that small. I thought the Sphinx was a... You know when they say the Great Sphinx? I thought this Great Sphinx was like a really huge... Obviously, it's really big compared to a human. But I thought it was like half the size of a pyramid. It isn't. It might be half the size of one of those small pyramids, or possibly the size of one of those small pyramids, but it's not what I thought it would be. Let's get ourselves slowed down here, because you know what? I think I'm going to land at Cairo International Airport. Just take a look at where it is. That wasn't lights, that was just something else. There's certainly an airport around here. I know that for certain. I just don't know where. There's got to be an airport around here somewhere, right? What does the map say? Dead ahead, actually. So the map says there's an airport dead ahead. We could just go back to the airport where we were. That would be helpful. At least we know where that is. In fact, yeah, let's do that. To end this episode, let's go back to that airport. Oh look, football field. Didn't know they had... Well, I suppose they would have, because they've got themselves a national team. It's played around the world. Everyone plays football. Americans call it soccer. Everyone gets confused. I do hope they sort this texture flickery thingy out. Not sure what's going on there. So in fact, let's crank up the power again. Fly around this, back over these pyramids, and then to the airports of our choice. In fact, there is an airport just here that I am going to try and land at. It looks like its code is HEEM. Just have a look. Yeah, HEEM. There's one. There's that one I could go to as well, which is where I took off from. I might do that, because I can't see this airport. So I might just do that. Go back to the airport I came from. It looks like a very large airport, the one I came from. There we go. Get a nice look at this from this angle. Again from over here. This is quite a decent view actually to have. I see the airport from this wing. No, can't see it. Alright, down we go. And there are the Great Pyramids of Giza once again. Got one pyramid, two pyramids, three pyramids, two large pyramids, one incredibly large pyramid, one medium-sized pyramid, three small pyramids, a sphinx, and then a bunch of interesting objects over here, which look like maybe old civilizations, things from old civilizations. I think the flicker is the normal map, you know. I think that's what it is. I do genuinely think that's the flicker. That's the cause for the flicker. Right, let's get ourselves back in the aircraft and settle in for the less than 5-minute flight back to our airport of choice. As soon as we see it, we'll line up with it and sort ourselves out. Because I still can't see this other airport that I was trying to land at. But hey, there you go. You know. Right. I'm going to be a little bit concerned because we are going to enter its airspace in a moment. But what I can do is I can just essentially circle the airport before landing because I can't see it. Just, you know, that would be absolutely fine. So that's why I'm climbing a little bit. There we go. I'll take a climb to 1,500 feet so I can see the airport. As a matter of fact, is that the airport? It's a building and there's a runway. That's the airport. There we go. Now, I'm going to approach this airport fairly fast because, again, I just don't know what the runways are on it. As a matter of fact, I can just do this. It should give me the runways. There we go. That will help very, very well. Apparently it's got a localizer on it as well. I didn't know that. Unfortunately, I can't really tune that in. But I can move in to intercept that localizer manually. Which is exactly what I'm going to do by flying this heading here. And now I'm at 2,000 feet. I don't think I want to climb up at all anymore. As a matter of fact, I do want to start descending back down to 1,500 feet now that I'm more sure of where the runways are at this airport. So I'm actually going to start reducing power ever so slightly, letting the power bring the rate of descent down. Which is actually refusing to do. There we go. Alright. Airport should be hidden behind this pillar right here for us. Just, you know, that's absolutely great. No, it just doesn't want to. It still wants to climb. This Malibu, I just don't think it flies right. I've had this issue before where it's flown okay for a while and then it just doesn't wish to fly. Alright, time to really bring this aircraft down. As a matter of fact, I see puppy lights. That's awesome. But I don't see runways. Now that's probably because of the way this airport is. So I'm actually going to try and follow those puppy lights now as soon as I line myself up. I think this is an airbase, actually, to be completely honest. I do think this is an airbase, but whatever. All we wanted to do was have a look at a few pyramids. Now we're landing at an airbase. It's like we're being escorted in. Slow down even further without dropping our nose too much. And there's the runway. I can see the runway quite clearly. She would stop complaining. We're coming in very fast. We're like a space shuttle here. Don't think I've done an approach this fast in in a small jet in a very long time. This is way too fast for an approach, which is why I'm idling it and letting the aircraft slow down of its own accord. Yeah, if I was shuttle, I'd be landing on the other runway. That's the runway I turned towards when I took off. I've got plenty of runway to land this aircraft then, if that's correct. Alright, landing gear out. That should help slow the aircraft down. We'll get our flaps out very shortly. Oh, look at that. How have I managed to do that? I have no idea. Sometimes I surprise myself. 1 stage of flaps. 2 stages of flaps. On the power. And we're coming in very nicely now at 95 knots. This is a very dead airport though. I wonder if it's even in service anymore. I mean, it's got functioning runways, functioning PAPI indicators, it's got its own localizer. It doesn't look like an Air Force base. There we go. Come on, let the aircraft come down. It's not really happy today. Got 20 degrees of flaps, right? Let's go for full flaps then. Not done a full flaps landing in a very long time. Pitch that nose down. There we go, runway 34. .75 knot landing. Very slow landing. But there we have it. And we're down. Well, that was a little tour of the Pyramids of Giza. Nothing too amazing in Flight Sim World just yet, but certainly possibilities of making it special. Let's go out this way. Making it special as they improve the terrain. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to hit the like button if you like this video. Subscribe to the channel for more videos on Flight Sim World. Leave a comment in the comments box below. Thumbs up if you're watching on Twitch, and follow, please. And do support me on Patreon if you can. If you've got any money to spare, perhaps a couple of dollars, do please support me on Patreon. Link to that is in the description box below. I would massively appreciate your support. Next video might be having a look at another community update, depending on what they do. Hopefully it will be, but I'll have to see. Thank you very much for watching once again, and I will see you guys in the next episode of Flight Sim World, and obviously during its early access phase. I'll see you guys then.